Okay, right, I've decided it's time to shrink my collection a bit. These two computers here are staying. I'm never going to get rid of these. The A1000 and my 3000 toaster. But I need to clean out some computers. So my 1200, which is actually a recent acquisition, but 1200 with a Blizzard 1230 50 megahertz is going to go. It's got a Wi-Fi network card. I've got an A500, which is a Plus, which is in really nice condition. That's going to go. There's a 600 here, which is fully working. Slight yellowing of the keys and the case. The rest of them are actually really nice, but that's got slight yellowing. And a CD32, which is pretty box standard. More importantly, probably the most interesting one will be the 2000, which I've done a video before. I'm going to separate this out, and again, I'd like to sell it complete, the complete system. So I'm going to show you in the next clip the complete system apart, you know, working, etc., and what you're going to get. And if no one wants to buy it complete, then I'm going to sell it out, separate it all. The reason I'm selling the 2000 is because I originally bought it because I've always wanted to build a toaster. A UK toaster, so I bought the 2000 for it, but unfortunately because of the NTSC time, and I could never get it to work, I actually destroyed another motherboard trying to get it to work in this one. This is actually a modern, it's a 2000 case, 2000 key, but it's actually got a 1500 A15 Commodore A1500 motherboard. Well, basically what that is a very late revision B2000 motherboard. So it's actually got quite a nice up-to-date B2000 in it. What else is well, that's it really. So let's break it apart and show you. Okay, a bit of a mega porn for you. So basically here's the inside of it. As you can see, there's nothing in the video slot, although I do have an Opal Vision which can be added if you want it. And now so basically what we have here is there's the TechMagic, the GVP TechMagic 6860 card. It runs absolutely beautiful, but just imagine, just try and treat it that it hasn't got a SCSI card for now. 128 megabytes of RAM, which is high-speed RAM. And next to it is next to it is actually it's down there, isn't it? In the next slot along is the CyberVision graphics card. Then there's the GVP HCR. I've actually turned off the 8 meg of RAM. It's not needed. Yes, I have tried turning it on to speed up the data access, but it didn't make it, actually made it slower, so I turned it off and it was fine. In the middle, which you can't really see, is the Ariadne card, and next to that is the Macro Systems VLab Motion, which is absolutely brilliant, which there will be a video attached to this so you can see that. Okay, that's the internals. Now again, if you buy this standalone unit, probably only if and I sell everything else, I'll break it up, and I do sell it the 2000 separately. It more likely come with the GVP card, so you've actually got hard disk and 8 mega RAM to get you going, and then if you want to add other bits, you can do. All right. Okay, this is probably the well, this is the pièce de résistance. So this is my 2000. And it's a little interesting story. I've had this about a year now. The idea was to build a toaster, which if you can see, you can see on the right hand side is my 3000. Story goes, well, this is not story goes, this is the truth. I built the 2000 to put a video toaster in, because I wanted to build a video toaster, because I've always wanted one for about 20 years. And of course I'm in a PAL area, so I couldn't have one. So I bought the basic 2000. It's a fun story. It was just the box that I bought. And trying to get I used my 3000 keyboard with it, so I was trying to get my toaster to work in it, and I couldn't get it to work. So I tried tweaking because you could change it to NTSC. That still didn't quite work because the timings of the clock chip were not NTSC timings, and I don't know, it was an absolute pain in the neck. I could not get it to work. I ended up damaging the 2000 motherboard, and then the guy who I bought the actual base unit from, it's a lovely looking base unit. The guy I bought the base unit from said he had an A1500 as well, but so I could have the motherboard. Now, if you don't know, the Commodore A1500 is basically
a B1200 with a new badge on it. So I bought the motherboard, put this in. So basically what this is a 2000 case, really nice 2000 keyboard. It comes obviously with the mouse. Now the interesting thing is that I'm going to be selling this, you know, there's options in how I'm going to sell this. Ideally what I'd like you to buy is this complete unit. Now I'm showing you here with a big screen. Now I'll give you the option. The price I set for this complete system will be with a 1084 monitor and a Dell I think it's a 1280 by 1024 display, because it's inside. It has an awful lot of kit. So the internals. Now I'd ideally like to sell this as a complete system, and inside this is a GVP TechMagic 6860 card running at 60 megahertz with a fan on it, and that's got 128 megabytes of RAM on it. So that in itself is pretty cool. I'm going to come to this. There's one little tiny problem, the accelerator card, which doesn't affect the running except the fact that SCSI doesn't work. I think it's just something that someone more experienced could probably fix. I haven't been able to fix it myself. But so anyway, moving on. It's got a Cybervision 64 3D graphics card. Forget 3D, it's not really 3D. But it's a brilliant 4 megabyte card from well, Cybervision's made by Phase 5, isn't it? This will be on the description. It also has a SCSI controller in it, a GVP HC8 SCSI controller on board, which is because the one on the accelerator card doesn't work. It doesn't work at the moment. I can't get it working. I'm sure someone can get it working, but I can't, unfortunately. It does not affect the performance. And then there's the Ariadne 2 network card in it. So ideally, oh, there's also, of course, there's another thing, is the inside I have a Hagen Partners. I'm gonna document this all properly, but I've got a VLab Motion card in it, which works brilliantly, and I do really like it. Now I will include a link to a video I did of this. I'm not going to go into any details on this, so I just want to show it working now. The key thing is that if you see this out, it's the only thing wrong with this, and it's never actually bothered me in the use. But just so you know, if you're buying the accelerator card or you're buying the complete system, it's one little thing. And this thing pops up just basically telling me that the SCSI controller's not happy. Now, I've had this since the beginning. It is a pain in the arse. You have to click this a few times. So someone might be able to fix this, and then they're going to get a bargain because I'm going to price it accordingly. And so now it'll boot up. Now it's in a second. The screen will change. Obviously, there we go. Now I switch this monitor over to PC mode, and then now what we've seen is the Cybervision graphics. Now, of course, it's got a 6860, which is ridiculous performance. I'll show you the performance of this. Hang on, let me just get to boot. Okay. I've got a massive backdrop on this. Might be worth replacing that with the little ones. But I actually quite like the backdrop. So as you can see, it does look really nice. It's a great computer, this is. I'm hoping someone will buy this complete. Where's my... Let's run the performance. Utilities. Where is it? There we go, sysinfo. And then run that. Now, of course, this runs on a power screen, so I need to switch back. There you go. So there's that. And now let's run the speed test so you can see how fast this puppy runs. There we go. So 46.75 MIPS, 33.5 MFLOPS. 3.6 chip speed over 600, and it's 84 times the speed of a 600, or nearly 10 times the speed of a 3000. So it's 6860 and it flies. One little thing, because it's not using SCSI controller, the hard disk controller on board could be swapped out. It's not overly fast. I'm showing this for full disclosure. If you buy the whole thing, but trust me, this is a great little system. Okay, and it's 828, so it's just under a megabyte a second. So That's one little thing I was going to do to change, to swap it out. But if you can fix the accelerator, if you buy the whole package, you can get the accelerator card sorted out. So if it goes to someone who knows how to fix it, it might just need a new ROM. You're going to get an absolute demon. Now, this 6860 card is running at 60 megahertz. It's actually, I bought a chip that said 75 on it because I wanted a full. This is a full fat RC. They call it 75. It's not. It must be some kind of clone or something. I think it, but it runs stably at 60, and I've left it at 60, and I've got a fan on it to keep it nice and cool. So that works. That works really well. But yeah, no, it's an absolutely amazing machine, and I love it to bits. But I just got too many computers, and I need to rationalise down to what I really like. So this is a bargain. Hopefully it'll be a bargain. I'm going to leave it for a while. So if I'm going to leave it for a week for people, or a few days for people to come back to me and see if they're interested. And it's going to have to be UK sale because these things are great, big and bulky, and I really don't want to ship it abroad. And we can discuss. You know, if someone wants to buy it whole, then I'll discuss with them. But otherwise, it's going to get broken up, which would be a bit sad. I may not, if I break it up, I may not sell the 2000 itself. I may put it in storage, and just to hold it upstairs. But if someone wants to buy the whole thing, then that'd be great. Okay, that's that one. Okay, so this is what you're going to be bidding for. The flashing is because I'm running at 60 frames a second. I've done all the videos on this in 60 frames a second, so obviously the display is shaking. So, I wonder if I... No, I can't stop it. Right, so this is the thing with the text SCSI, remember? Just click this a few times. Now you have to click it about 25-30 times. It is a pain in the neck. Once you know it's there, it's fine because it takes a few seconds. Once the machine's booted, the session's okay and it's all good. Let's just see if it comes up on the big display, because I'll have to re-record a section of it. Oh no, there you go. Look at that. Yeah, I don't know how much you can see of this. Well, I'll try and get a little bit closer. There you go. And the picture comes in. So you can see the whole thing works. Both monitors work nicely. It is a shame about the 30 frames a second, but you can see the monitor works. It's working fine. I'll open up the performance so you can see that. Utility. I can remember. I always forget where I put it. Okay, speed. You won't be able to see this because of the. It's recorded at 60 frames a second, and the display is about 50. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. Maybe it'll go away. Well, you could probably see. You've seen that anyway. And there's the Amiga's display on that monitor. It's a lovely monitor. In fact, that is an absolutely fantastic system. Comes with a mouse, obviously. So everything there, all the pictures. Again, if I can't sell it complete, I'll break it up. I may not sell the 2000. If I sell the 2000 separately, I will list what's in it, but more than likely will be the base unit with the HC8 SCSI card. 8 mega RAM, no accelerator obviously, with a keyboard. And that keyboard's really nice, and I mean it cost me nearly 100 quid. The mouse, and I'll also put in the Commodore 1084 ST, which is actually quite a nice monitor. All right, that's it. Okay, thanks a lot. Okay, so here's the A1200. As you can see, it's in really nice condition. I had to swap out the keyboard and. Because a couple of the keys weren't working, so it's got a new keyboard. I mean, it's a tiny bit of yellowing on 2 of the rows of the keys, but apart from that, it's absolutely spotless. I really like it. It's just I'm not really into AGA, to be fair. I've got too many computers. So it's, as you can see, it's up here working. I'll show you I've got one of them classic workbenches installed on it. I'm doing this by hand this time, but just so you can see how fast it is. There you go. So it's a 50 megahertz phase. That's a good question. Blizzard 1230 Mark IV. on it, and you can see it's 1.99 60 to 3000. Drive speed, I think the drive speed's a couple of megasecond. This has got, oh yeah, this has actually got a solid state drive in it. Now, like the 2000, I'm going to offer this complete. That's the computer, the keyboard, the power supply, the mouse, the Wi-Fi card, with 32 mega RAM, the accelerator card, and I think it's a 4 gig drive in there. So I'll be offering that complete or breaking it apart. Okay, but it's a nice. I mean, I spent the time making it a nice system. Now the only thing with it at the moment is it's not been capped. So you know, again, I mean, I'm happy to have it capped. But of course that's going to add cost of having it capped to the price, which is fine if you if you want to do that. You know, it's probably better if you get that done. But I'm happy to do it. It works beautifully. It's been in storage for many years. The owner was looking after it, so there you go. That's that one. Okay, so here's the A500. It's an A500 Plus. It doesn't have an internal memory card. It's just literally standard, but it's in really nice condition. And as you can see, it's got Kickstart 2 in it. If I put the floppy disk in just to show you it all working. There you go. We all know that demo. Ooh. Why am I selling them? Do you know what? I just want to keep. I just really want to stick to my 3000 and 1000. I've just got too many of these. This lot, the 1200 and the 600 actually all came together. Someone was selling them, and I just thought, oh, but you know, I'm not really a hardcore collector, so. There we go. It works. You can see it works. There you go. Okay, that's that. Yes, I remember what's happened with this one. Right, so this does have the camera work's going to get a bit shaky here. Let me just do a reboot. I just want to show you something. Right, I'm just going to hold down the 2 keys. Okay, can you see on there? See, so it does have a DH0. There's a 4 gig internal IDE drive in it. I installed. Yeah, I was experimenting, and it's only got Kickstart 2. It does have the internal 1 meg RAM card, so it's actually got 2 meg of chip RAM. And I was experimenting. I put on it I put on it Workbench 3 just to see if it worked. I knew it wouldn't, but it didn't work. So, well, it kind of booted. But anyway, so this will need installing of Workbench on this. But I'm happy to do that. I'll install Workbench 2 on it, and it works. It works lovely. It's a lovely little computer. Just to show you it does work, I will put in the old demo, and I'll do a reboot. Here we go. So you can see all the lights working. It does work really nice. It's actually a really nice little computer, this one. I've never been a big fan of the 600, I've got to be honest. There you go, so you can see it works. I've never been a massive fan. You might want to buy this to put a vampire in it. But I don't know. Anyway, so it works nicely.